nice footwork. But you see Brandon Kiser, he's just slick.
So now we're going to try to show you a couple of things you can do to make use of that anatomical knowledge that Dr. Kachamani so kindly pointed out to us. Right here, what we've done is drawn in the carotid arteries, or the placement of the carotid arteries, my friend, Coach Kiser here. And now we're just going to show you how you can use that kind of information both on defense and offense for using your, for instance, a triangle choke. We're going to do the triangle choke for today. But really it wouldn't matter if we're talking about a triangle choke, a rear naked choke, a gi choke, a fist choke, any type of choke, a head and arm. They all work essentially the same way, and that is by pinching off both of these carotid arteries, which supply blood, sugar, oxygen, basically all the fueling agents for the brain. So as soon as we pinch those off, we have our choke, and either the guy taps out or he passes out. That's really a real concern. The second I'm able to clear this and lock this back on, we're going to tighten it up. Right now I'm already tight, and I've got this, you can't even see the marking we've made. The carotid artery is pinched off. My thigh is on it. But the reason why Brandon isn't tapping right now is because, if you can see right here, this carotid artery is still clearly visible and clearly still supplying blood and fuel to the brain. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on a triangle that's called the reverse triangle. And all it is instead of switching my legs, which is traditionally the way it's done, I keep my legs situated like this. And all I gotta do is pull his head in, and I've gotta try to still fold my knees together, which, as you can see, he's breathing through this carotid artery. It will disappear as I bring my knees together, and that's what I wanna do. Bring my knees together, pull his head, and we get the reverse triangle. Hip up, keeping my legs crossed, hip up, come back down, and finish with the classic triangle. And again, just to reiterate, the way it's working is by this thigh touching here, pinching off the left carotid artery, and in this case it's his shoulder and arm that's cutting off the right carotid artery. On the traditional triangle choke here.
Tight, Johnny.
Wow, he's putting the foot into the crook of his knee and really pulling down hard on Donnie's head, putting his arm in the right spot. And if Donnie's not going to tap,
Donnie's got it. He's got to use the cage. He's got to push up against the cage here and create a little space in that triangle. Donnie does know how to camp out in there. He knows how to find the little spaces to breathe, and he could be all right here. But boy, again, there you go. Now he switched it up. He switched it up on him, Johnny. And now Donnie is in a lot of trouble. He had it on backward at first, and that was slick the way he was able to transition that over. Now I don't know if Donnie's going to be able to find any little place.
Now the beauty of knowing this type of stuff is that once you realize that the positioning and the configuration of my limbs, my arms, my feet, and my fist or whatever are really secondary to how his anatomy is being affected, you can start kind of making band-aid fixes for when you're in the middle of a fight. I mean, definitely the traditional ways, the classical methods are probably the most efficient and powerful ways of pinching these guys off. But in the middle of that fight, when you've almost got that triangle on, or maybe you think you've got it and you're squeezing and the guy's not going out, instead of sitting there and wondering, God, why isn't this working? You should know right away why it's not working. Either one or both of these carotids are still supplying blood and oxygen to the brain. Figure out if it is one or both, and then if it is both, then you got to figure out a way to plug them both. And if it's just one, then figure out a way to plug it. And it really doesn't matter how you do it. You can use your shin, you can use his collar, you can use your fist, you can use, you can use an instep, the go-go plot, the type of thing. It really doesn't matter. The point is to learn this so that you're not bound to doing it the traditional ways where you're already there and it's not working. And so your only answer is, well, do it harder. So now it's like you can sit there and figure out, well, maybe something's wrong.
Sway your decision. Yeah. No, it's only fair for them to be in the half guard. A little wild there. It's a little wild. Good exchange though. That was Jake Paul. Jake Paul enjoyed it. He gave him a smile. And maybe Dolce got fired up. take it a little personal now too. Got the head in there. Doesn't look like he's too tight. Get tighter right here though.
Looks like he actually has it. It looks like
that is tight. Oh, he's in a bad position right there.
Very bad position. I think he's unconscious.
That's it.
He's unconscious.
The referee had to pull him off. He didn't want to let go.
Wow, that's going.
That's our first drill.
Number one, you want to step at a 45-degree angle and put your lead foot on the outside of their rear foot. The reason for this step is because I can throw the tie kick here without stepping and still score the target and generate a relative amount of power. But what you've got to worry about is your opponent's rear hand or straight right. Eating that straight right as you throw the kick. So, in order to compute for that counter, you want to step on a 45-degree angle so that if he happens to punch at the same time, your head is off the line of that punch. Here, step. One more time. Punch.
Round the money, Adam Brady, maybe stay back a little bit. Don't chase this kid. If you chase him, that's when you're going to get hit like that.
He got caught with a shot right there, threw a kick, and
this time he's given me I've gotten lucky and he's crossed his feet for me. He starts going for a choke. I've got to play defense first and get this overhook. This makes it a lot more difficult for him to finish me with the rear naked. Oh, sorry. An eye poke works really well too. So.
Very effective technique.
So I'm right here. I want to wedge that over this leg here. Wedge that. Isolate the ankle. Press down on the knees and then hip up.
But you got to tell me, what was with that leg lock?
It's an ankle lock from a rear naked position. It's a defense to a rear naked. I learned it from Brian Yamasaki off of Damage Control and Mushin on the mat.